Why is it important to hire a band that has a great deal of experience? Well, the main reason is that they've gone through all kinds of different types of weddings, all different types of ethnicities, formal, casual, all types of venues, big or small, museums, lofts, giant hotels, out-of-state stuff. They're going to have the experience and the knowledge of playing Jewish weddings, Italian weddings, 600 people, 30 people, a couple in their 60s, a couple in their early 20s, that maybe want to have tons of toasts or two toasts or a giant bridal party, or they want to have a special song arranged, or you need to be able to have experience to be able to understand how to read a dance floor and adjust to it. So that experience is a huge, huge asset. And a company that's going to be progressive, open-minded to your needs is really important too. But finding that balance between experience and open-mindedness is the key to having an awesome band for your wedding. For your reception, we have a number of different ensembles that we can offer you guys. Typically for cocktails, you'd have your jazz trio, which is piano, bass, and saxophone. You can also do a solo piano for smaller weddings. And we can bring our keyboard free of charge for either of those ensembles. And then for dinner, you can either continue with the jazz trio, or if you want to start dancing right away, there's something called dancing between choruses, which allows you to be introduced and come right in, do first dance, father, daughter, mother, son, gets up and dancing. You can use the 7-piece group or the 10-piece orchestra. The 7-piece orchestra is composed of piano, bass, drums, guitar, male vocalist, female vocalist, and a saxophone player. The 10-piece orchestra gives you a male vocalist, 2 female vocalists, piano, bass, drums, guitar, and then you get a full horn section, which is sax, trumpet, trombone. With both of these ensembles, you also get a free DJ, separate MC, and everything. We'll take care of it and make it perfect. We have a number of ensembles that you can use for your ceremony. The classical duo, which is violin and piano, classical trio, violin, piano, and cello, string quartet, which is 2 violins, viola, and cello. Then our newest ensemble, which is the All Styles Quartet, which is piano, bass, string bass that is, and violin and sax/flute. And you can also add on like a classical vocalist, classical trumpet. If you would like a brass ensemble, we can put that together for you as well. If you need a speaker to microphone for your ceremony, we can offer you that. There is an additional charge for that, but we can provide that for you. You also get our ceremony music guide, as well as our consultant, Alex Kaufman, who's going to help you pick out all the music for your ceremony. And the great thing is these are all separate musicians that play for your cocktails. So when the ceremony's over, they will keep playing until all your guests have left the ceremony room. Hope that helps. Our music company is very versatile and can take care of all the music for your ceremony and reception. For your ceremony, you can choose from a number of different ensembles. And what's great about this is that these are actually separate musicians that play for cocktails. So for your ceremony, you can use a classical duo, which is violin and piano, or you can do a classical trio, which you'd add a cellist to that ensemble, so violin, piano, and cello. String quartet, which is 2 violins, viola, and cello. And then our newest ensemble, which is really very interesting, very versatile, which is piano, violin, string bass, and saxophone/flute that can play any style of music. For your cocktails, you can do solo piano or jazz trio, which is piano, bass, and sax. And then for dancing, a 7-piece orchestra, piano, bass, drums, sax, male, female vocalist. And then you also have the 10-piece, which adds second female vocalist, trumpet, and trombone. Our music company is very versatile and can take care of all the music you're going to need for your ceremony, cocktails, dinner, and dancing. For your ceremony, we have a number of different ensembles, and these are actually separate musicians than those who play for cocktails. For your ceremony, you can choose from the classical duo, which is violin and piano, classical trio, violin, piano, and cello. We have a string quartet, which is 2 violins, viola, and cello. We have our All Styles Quartet, which is wonderful, which is violin, piano, string bass, and saxophone/flute that can play any style of music. For cocktails, you can do a solo piano or jazz trio, which is piano, bass, and saxophone. And then you add musicians to the jazz trio to give you the 7 or 10-piece orchestra. The 7-piece group is piano, bass, drums, guitar, male vocalist, female vocalist. And then the 10-piece groups add trumpet, trombone. Here are the basic parts of your ceremony music. First, you're going to start out with prelude music. This is the music that's going to be playing as your guests walk into the room. And generally, the musicians who are playing for your ceremony, they're going to play 2 to 4 songs. So if the ceremony starts at 5 o'clock, they'll generally start playing about 4:45. Then you have one song for the bridal party, one song for the bride, and then if there's any service music, that's like Unity Candle, any kind of special songs or dedications you want to have done during your ceremony, that's called service music. Then once you're pronounced man and wife, then you have something called the recessional. And they'll keep playing that song until you've actually made your way down, all the way down the aisle. Then they'll go into something called postlude music, which is what's played as your guests are leaving. Hope that helps. You can find more on our ceremony music guide on our website. Thanks. Here's how to get a jam-packed dance floor. Number 1, hire a great band, a band with a lot of experience, one that's very versatile. They can play a wide variety of styles. They're willing to learn specific songs that you want to have. Number 2, make sure you have a great dance floor that's appropriate for the number of guests you're having and the size of the stage. And here's the biggest one, which most people don't realize. If you guys are out there dancing, your guests will take the lead and they're going to follow you on the dance floor. So if you're standing around kind of milling with people and outside, whatever, your guests are going to follow that lead. So get on the dance floor, jump into the dancing, be the most enthusiastic couple on the dance floor, and you will watch all of your guests say, wow, we want to be part of that. So get a great band and make sure they're versatile, and you guys go ahead and dance and your friends will follow. Our music company is all about being helpful. So on our website, you'll find lots of great resources that has a ton of information. We have our blog, which you can find on the bottom of the website there, with tons and tons of different articles that we've written and other guest vendors have written for us as well. We also have our podcast, which you can find on our website. We have a radio show called Wedding 101 through Blog Talk Radio that has over 75 interviews with photographers, video people, caterers, venues, and all kinds of great information about how to figure out how to put together a great wedding. And so feel free to go through the website as much as you like. We also have a ceremony music guide located on the bottom of our website, which will help you figure out all the ceremony music for your ceremony. And there's lots of great information and articles and videos throughout our YouTube channel as well. So thanks so much. Hope you were able to use some of these things, and talk to you soon. Here's the difference between a club band and a wedding band, and why you need to have a wedding band playing for your wedding. When you go to some festival or some club and you just hear this great sounding band, you say, oh, can you play for my wedding? And they're like, yeah, I guess we could play for your wedding. They don't understand the mechanics of what goes into it. A wedding band specifically has to be very versatile in all styles of music, from Sinatra to top 40 to Motown to disco to funk. They have to be able to learn new songs. A club band is primarily kind of in their bag, whatever it is. It's a heavy metal band, or they're a funk band, or they're originals or independent stuff. They're not going to change who they are. They're not going to all of a sudden show up in black suits and ties and everything. They're going to kind of do their thing. So you want a band that's going to be able to do all the emceeing, that understands the flow of a wedding, and be able to be versatile enough to play all styles of music to keep all of your guests dancing. Club bands just can't do that. Hi guys, here's a few tips I have for finding the perfect venue for your wedding. There is an endless supply of different types of venues, places you can get married, museums, there's lofts, there's hotels, banquet halls, all kinds of different facilities, and they're all wonderful, but it's a matter of what's going to fit for you. So before you start just flipping through various magazines or doing Google searches for wedding venues, sit down with your fiance, figure out what type of wedding you want to have. Super formal, really casual, city, suburbs. Do you want to have a hotel where people can stay overnight? How many guests are you having? And then what's the vibe of your wedding? Formal, casual, somewhere in between, somewhere quirky, interesting. So get a better idea of what it is that you want, then start to go out and narrow down your choices till you find the perfect place that feels and makes sense for your big day. Thanks. What's the most important word for a great wedding? Momentum. What do I mean by momentum? That means the ability of everything to flow smoothly forward. So let's say when the guests walk into the room and you come right into, you do your first dance, father, daughter, mother, son, the guests get up, they're dancing, then they're seated. Then you have your dad's toast, then salad served. You do all your toast during then. So things are moving forward. We don't want to have any dead times where you're sitting there with an empty plate, just kind of waiting for something to happen. There should be a natural progression of things moving forward. So if you're eating, you're eating. If people are giving toast, you're giving toast. If you're doing cake cutting, you have cake cutting. But there should be always some kind of activity, some function going on at a certain time. And the best weddings always have that. Just like the best dates where you can sit and talk for hours, your wedding should always have that kind of great energy moving forward. So keep an eye and keeping your momentum going. Hi everybody, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the best ways to pick out the music for your wedding, and specifically the dance music. So obviously there's going to be a great deal of the music is going to be geared towards you and your friends, but also take some time to think about who else is going to be there. Is there a special song you want to have played for your parents? Maybe there's a special grandparent and you can pick out a particular song or style or artist that'd be meaningful for them. So think about that. Think about different circles of people in your life. Maybe your sorority friends that you have a particular song you want to have. Or maybe the groom has his one buddy song. They always go drinking and sing this song at the top of their lungs. So jump into some other types of songs that maybe a family road trip thing or a dedication to somebody who had passed away. Do a little extra digging to find out something that's going to be more inclusive to keep everybody there all the way to the last note. Thanks. Hi everybody, I wanted to talk to you very briefly about why demo CDs are a complete lie and why you should not trust them. When somebody gives you a demo CD, first of all, you have no idea who's actually playing on this. You have no idea when it was recorded. You have no idea how many times it took to get that recording done. So if they're playing some song 27 times over and they bring in this vocal part or that vocal part or this effect or do the piano part over again, piecing it all together, you're not buying a CD. You're trying to hire a band that's going to be able to do a great job for your particular wedding. So you need to see the reaction of the crowd. You need to see people dancing. You need to see things in a very raw, realistic kind of way. And people that hide behind demo CDs are cowards, and it's a very lazy way to be able to communicate what they do. And a lot of times, these are not the people that are going to be playing your wedding. So trust live videos for your big day.